Here we go. Late nights draw stream. Drawing some primal characters. It's actually spear versus zombie spear. Do my little take on it right here. We started out with a thumbnail 2 streams ago, trying to pick the one that we wanted to go with, and was really wanted to do this, but I also had my heart set on them fighting on top of Fang. You know, I was gonna do maybe like the head sticking out or just a whole, maybe like 11 by 17 on its side, but I ended up going with this one. And then hopefully I could do another one. I can do another one this year. I really wanted to do a couple. The show's awesome. I think it's the best show on TV. It's my favorite show. And yeah, I think it's like the best show since Ash vs. Evil Dead, personally. The new season has started. And episode 2 drops tomorrow. Can't wait. I'm really excited for that. So I'm going to start working on Spear's hand right here. Let's see. I need a little paper guard so I don't get a bunch of smudge going on. So I'm going to try something different right here. I might have the arm move a little bit. I might have the arm come back like that. Just a little, so it looks like it's a little more broken, you know. There we go. I'll work on that some more. Try to get some more ideas for that in a little bit. And then the hand, really want the big hands, but this hand's just like, looks like an Elephant Man's hand, so it's a little too big. I'm gonna have to bring that down a peg or two. So kind of get in there like that. This eraser's getting kind of tired. Seen better days. It's okay though. It's falling apart. I'm gonna have to get another one pretty soon. Actually, I have a new one, but whenever I'm running low on supplies, I don't like to run completely low. You know what I mean? I like to have one and then another one. Hey, how's it going? Aria Phoenix, thanks for stopping by. How's it going? Kaylan Wado. Oh, thank you. I'm drawing a spear from Primal. Spear versus zombie spear. Appreciate that. Right now I'm working on this hand right here. Trying to make it look like he's putting his arm back a little, maybe a little break. And then trying to fix his hand. It looked too big. It was looking like the Elephant Man. Bird Fam, thanks for stopping by. Tough. Thank you. Yeah, and then I actually got my comic book too. I'm launching in March. It's called HELWÄR. It's a Viking bounty hunter book. Viking biker bounty hunter. Yeah, I love Primal too. I think it's the best show. I'm trying to do a couple pieces. I can't wait to watch it tomorrow. That new season, oh my god, it's fire. Has no business being that good. No business. Yeah. I got links for my Kickstarter up right now, the pre-campaign. If you guys want to check it out, it's all in the description. Thanks to everybody for stopping by. Thank you for hitting the like and then subscribing. I've never watched before. You have to watch Primal. It's on HBO and it's also on Cartoon Network and it's on YouTube. So if you go to the Cartoon Network YouTube, they have season 3, episode 1 streaming usually, like this week. But I recommend do not go watch season 3 unless you watch the first 2 seasons. It's the one show where you don't want to do it. You can't do that. You have to watch it all. Yeah, and there's really no dialogue in it. Like 90% of the show, there's zero dialogue. Yeah, because it's a T-Rex and a caveman trying to survive in this primal world, you know. Different beasts, you know, but it's real pulpy. It's not 100% historically accurate. You're going to have Vikings, you're going to have Babylonians, you're going to have You're gonna have cave apes. You're gonna have dinosaurs. You're gonna have witches. You're gonna have cave witches. You're gonna have man bats. You're gonna have all kinds of shit. Yeah, it's the greatest show. If you're into like Conan the Barbarian and Robert E. Howard, you will love that show. Edgar Rice Burroughs, you know, you're gonna love that. Yeah, it is great. Ghosty Spooky Boo, thanks for stopping by. Yeah, there's no dialogue in it. There's one episode with dialogue where they actually need it because they have a bunch of like distinguished gentlemen in like the 1800s Victorian era England. They're at a mansion. They're talking about the primal man and beast and how they're, you know, you have to watch the episode. It was just like a one-off. I don't want to spoil too much. It's just something you guys got to experience. But the brilliant thing about that show is there is no dialogue mostly, and anyone in the world could watch it and fall in love with it, you know? So I think that was, I don't know. It's brilliant. It's brilliant no matter how you look at it. It's very comic booky, you know, because with comics, it's a visual medium. So you want to show more and tell less if you can sometimes. I'm doing that a lot with my book. I actually would take dialogue out of my comic. I took dialogue out of it. You'll go like 10 pages and there won't be a single word. And it's based off of Norse mythology. So basically, I don't want to spoon feed all you guys. You could go do a quick Google search about some Norse characters. You can go play God of War 1 and 2, the new ones. And you'll kind of know who the characters are. So I don't really want to, you know. That's the way I feel about that. Let's see here. I think I'm going to... I got to change this hand right here. Try something. I'm going to try another thing right here. This is off. I have to fix that. I'll show you guys... if you guys... Yeah, I just dropped a new trailer for my comic. Finally, yesterday. So if you guys go to like the shorts or the videos, there's a short version and then a video version. It's only a minute long if you guys want to check it out. And it shows some of the artwork in there and some of the music. And then when I'm going to launch the book on Friday the 13th in March. So, and the book is going to be record size. So it's going to be a heavy metal record size book, almost 12 by 12, you know, and I might have a stretch goal to where if I hit a certain amount of money, then I'm going to make a record sleeve for it to go in. And it's not going to be saddle stitch. It's going to be perfect bound. So it won't be a floppy. You'll be able to put it on your shelf next to Lemmy and Ozzy, you know. I wanted to try something different, guys, you know. I was inspired by like 300. I don't know if you guys ever bought 300, that book the movie's based off of, the comic. It's a long, wide format, you know. Comics, they don't all have to be like 11 by 17, you know. You can mess with the comic book, the format, you know. Look at manga, they're little books, you know. The French have big books. You know, Savage Sword of Conan, that's a big magazine. It could be a magazine. We don't always have to do the standard fare. We could switch it up. I think we should. I think we should take stupid risks, you know. We got to do that stuff sometimes. That's what art is, right? It's all about risk. If you're not taking risks, it's not really art in some ways, you know. I think that's a good argument. If you're not taking risks, it's not art. It sounds kind of douchey saying that, but it's kind of I think there's some merit to that argument. Art is not safe, is what I was trying to say. If art is not safe. There we go. And then I need to... I might be able to get away with that hand. I might be able to... Let me just... Maybe a little bit smaller. Then I got my tablet right here, so I'm gonna do a little reference. I didn't use any reference for this so far, but I'm gonna go in there and I'm gonna do a little reference just to kind of tighten it up. Oh, thanks for hitting the likes, guys. You're awesome. Hope you guys are having an awesome Saturday night. I know I am. I had a long week. I think I did about 8 days. My job's not super hard, but it takes a few hours. So I pulled like 8 days on that, and now I got a night off. So I'm gonna be drinking a little bit of Dunkin', and drinking some whiskey and drawing some Primal. Yeah. Hey, how's it going, baby Cobra 26? You got the Steve right there from Minecraft. Man, my kid, man, he just loves that Minecraft. He loves that Minecraft. I was trying to talk to him today about it. I was like, I think Steve is a fucking job title in the universe, right? I think Jack Black is like the first Steve, and I think the one in the game is a different Steve. Because the one in the movie, it's from the 80s, and then Steve is from the aughts. So it's like, I think he's going to pass the torch on to a new Steve. I think Steve will become a job title. This is just my guess. But I think, and you heard it here on this stream, I think that Jack Black is going to pass the title of Steve off to somebody. Like he's going to be a Steve, you know, it's going to be like a king, like it's going to be a title, right? I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen in the movies. Because Steve doesn't look the same as Jack Black. He's like a Mexican dude or something, you know, in the game, and in the movie he's a white dude, and it's 2 different time periods. So that would explain why it could be a passing of the torch. Like who's going to be Steve for the next 20 years? Who's going to come here and rule Minecraft world? I don't know. I think it's a pretty good hypothesis, and I think it's pretty cool because then you could keep bringing in new people, but they all got to wear the outfit. They all got to wear the outfit. They all got to wear the armor. You know, I think it's cool. But I saw like an interview with Momoa. He was on some talk show. He was saying that the new movie is going to be hilarious. It's even funnier. Yeah. And then God of War. Can I get a free book when it comes out? You know what, man? I wish I could. The first book I gotta buy is gonna be like $80. So I have to buy a prototype. So when the books come out, it's gonna be a Kickstarter. So what I'm gonna do is the books, when they come out, I'm gonna knock $5 off as an early bird special. So if you sign up for my Substack for free, my free Substack, then I have links for that in the description. Then I send you an early bird link, and then if you go to buy the book and back on Kickstarter, you know, if you hit the back, I'll knock $5 off it. The book's going to be 106 pages long. It's going to be pretty big, and it's going to be a big book too. So I just kept trying to knock the prices off, but the shipping is so much money right now, and the printing is a lot of money too because of just the way the world is. I couldn't get it down that much. Usually back like 5 years ago when I did books, we would do what was it? The books were $25 for like 50 pages, and then $10 shipping, so it would come out to $35. Now I got it down to 20, and then shipping is 10, so it comes to 30. But for the early bird special, I'm going to take 5 off that, and it'll be it'll be $15 plus 10 shipping. And I'm only going to be doing US, and then foreign, I'm going to offer it digitally, probably for 20 as well, because I never did digital comics before. But there's people like all over the world that literally the shipping costs more than the book, you know. But for that's just part of the problem though, because I really wanted to make the book a big book, like look like a record. You know what I mean? I didn't want it to. I could have made it as a regular comic, but 3 years ago, I've been working on it for 3 years. I decided that I wanted to make it look like a record, so that would cost more, you know. And I might not hit my goal. I might not be able to print it through the Kickstarter, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to launch it on a couple platforms. It's gonna cost a couple $1,000s to make it, so I got to make it. Like I gotta mail it, then I gotta get the supplies for it, like the packaging supplies, the tape, all of that. Kickstarter takes like a big chunk of the money. Taxes takes a big chunk of the money too, and then I have to pay for it to be shipped off. You know, so all that stuff costs money. But if I end up making more money, then I'm going to add in stretch goals and stuff like that. Like I want to make patches. I want to make a biker patch. I want to make the band, because in the book he's got a band called HELWÄR as well, and I want to do a patch, you know. But that'll probably not happen. I just want to be able to print the book, you know. But I'm gonna keep trying. Looking forward to it. And then the next couple books I do, I'm gonna try to make those cheaper. They're not gonna all be that format. I'm probably just gonna make a regular, 11 by 17 for the next books that I'm working on, or maybe even a little smaller. I'm just gonna try to make it cheaper. I want to make it to where I could get it down to like $20 for everything, you know, maybe even cheaper than that. But try to build value in it, you know, because the whole thing is about building value for that cost. Let's see here. But yeah, if I could, I would give you one. It's just, yeah, it's kind of pricey right now just to make them. But yeah, thank you though. I appreciate appreciate your wanting to have one. Friend Goated, thanks for stopping by. How you doing? I was just blabbing about my book. I was shilling my book. I'm gonna be shilling my book, guys. I'm sorry, but it's gonna be that way for the next few months. I'm the one that has to do it, so I'll be talking about it. I'll be doing different shows, drawing streams. I'll be doing some live shows during the day. hopefully, and then I'm going to be going on a lot of other people's YouTube channels talking about it. But the whole idea is if you guys sign up for my Substack for free, I'll be sending out like a monthly update. And I'm also, that's how I could send you guys the link to get the discount tier if you guys want to buy it, you know, from Kickstarter. Oh, it's all good. Yeah, no, you don't have to be sorry. Thanks for stopping by, you know. Yeah, thanks for coming by. So we got Spear right here. I'm gonna mess with his teeth a little bit, his mouth. Oh, real quick, I'll show you guys the cover for HELWÄR. Right before I'll do a quick little 30 more second chill. This is the cover right here, and the book's gonna be really just like dirty black and white. It's gonna be a black and white book, but it's gonna be 11 by 17. And that's our boy HELWÄR right there. Yeah. Yeah. That. Right. And thanks you guys for stopping by. All you guys that have been subscribing and liking and subscribing. You're awesome. All right. Let's see here. All right. Try to get a little more, got to get a little more teeth in there. Here we go. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the stopping by. I appreciate it. Yeah, here I'm just chilling with you guys, drawing, you know, talking about comics, talking about Primal. I think that show is important. I think it's a good show. There we go. Trying to get this going up in here. I see where the problem lies. We got a big problem right here. And here I was really tooting my own horn. Really, this looks pretty good. Nope, that nose is in the wrong spot. He doesn't really have much of a nose. It's way up here. I knew something was off. I could smell it. Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Let's see here. All right, let's try this one more time. Oh, okay. Let's see here. Gotta go quick. It's looking a little meaner right there. Okay. I don't know what your time is. Definitely because my time is 12:57. Yeah, it's 11:57 over here. I'm in LA, so it's a little later. Definitely. Definitely. Yeah. Okay, we got that. We gotta get the eyes a little bigger. You guys are pretty late over there, huh? Pretty late. Yeah. And we got that right there. Gotta make his jaw a little bigger. Still got to be cartoony, but yeah. Gotta look that a certain way, you know. All right, let's see here. Okay. Browning, North Montana. Oh, okay. It's up there. Pretty high up. You're over there with all the T-Rexes and stuff. So you probably love Primal. Gotta give him that cartooning. Oh, whoops. All right. Come back and start drawing things a little different. His face changes a lot, though. I've noticed in a lot of different poses and stuff. Yeah. Thanks for you guys. 6 you guys watching. I hope you're having a good night tonight. All right. This town kind of sucks. Drunk people here in fights. Yeah. Being around drunk people is annoying. It's not fun. Yeah. It is not fun. You got to learn how to drink responsibly, you know? Not everybody could do that. No, sorry. Yeah. Trying to really nail this piece down right here. I really like the old face, but it just wasn't spear enough. It wasn't the character, you know? And I'm still not happy with this all the way yet either. But you got to get that. I got to get that face right. Got to get that face right. You know. I'll get it eventually. Yeah. Yep. You just got the big mouth, you know. Still dogs, huh? That's not good. That's horrible. Horrible. I see what the problem is a little bit. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear about that, man. That's not good. He's got some ratchety teeth. You just draw eyes, huh? Yeah, I'm trying to just get a couple things squared away with the character right here, and then I'm going to start kind of tweaking it some more to my liking. I'm almost there. Almost there. I want him to have some big ass teeth. Because he's got some big old mean teeth. Some big old mean chompers. I know that much. Yep. All right. Well, have a good night. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see here. All right. Let's try to mess with these eyes a little bit. Now is where I got to be extremely careful. I can't really have too many more. Can't keep erasing at this juncture. Not too much. I can, but I gotta watch it now. Now it's getting close. Getting down to the wire. Sorry, guys. On this face area, anyways. I might need to load up my pencil too. I just think I'm running low on it. How long have you been drawing? I've been drawing for like 28 years, I think, since I was 4. My math's all messed up. Sorry. Gotta get this pencil just broke. I just went to Hobby Lobby and my daughter, I told her to get this pencil. It's a Pentel 0.5. It's my favorite. They have the lead right there, and it's actually cheaper than like anywhere else. Hobby Lobby has them really good price. All right, I gotta put some more lead in here. Go into my tack pack. Everyone needs a tack pack. If you guys want to know what I'm talking about, go check out some of my Metal Cartoonist Nuggets videos. Those are my how to make comic nuggets from a indie perspective. My grayish green perspective. So I got the gray hair, but I know a little bit, but oh yeah, I'm down to the wire on that. But I need to learn a lot more. I got a lot to learn. But that's what this whole channel is about, you know. Is getting better, reaching out, seeing how much more I could learn, and if I can help anybody else too, you know. People got questions, I got answers. And if I don't have the answer, I'll find it for you. That's a promise. When it pertains to drawing, you know, and making comics, I'll look for the answer. Yeah. And when I started out making comics, YouTube was in its infancy, and there wasn't really a lot of channels where you could go to, you know, to find out stuff. Sorry guys, I'm just trying to get that pencil going, that lead going. All right, here we go. All right, we got to really think about this. All right, he looks more like him now. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to do the eyes like this. I think I'm gonna kind of. I might do one squinted and then another one kind of bug eye. That's, if you notice some of my drawings, I do that. I'll do one squint and one kind of cracked out eye, you know, that's losing it. I kind of like that. I don't know why. Yes, okay. So yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, we'll do that. And then he's got some big bushy eyebrows that kind of come down like that. Yeah, just watch this. This guy's gonna be so iconic, so iconoclastic. Like in like 20 years. Watch, you'll see. He's already getting that way. He's turning into like an overnight sensation, but over 3 years. The last character I seen like that was Art the Clown. That guy really blew up. He blew up fast, but he had been around for a long time too, just like this guy. So it was kind of like an overnight, but not really. Like, there was a different version of him. There's like an All Hallows Eve movie, and then they made Terrifier 2. And I really dug that first Terrifier movie. I thought it was fantastic. And then the second one was epic. And I still haven't watched the third one. I still haven't. I need to see that. I'm really into horror movies. I'm a big horror guy. Okay. And I can even leave the eye blank. Kind of get in there. Yeah. So here we go. I think I'm gonna rock that face. I'm okay with that. Let's see. I'm gonna get that nostril down there like that. Yeah. There we go. There we go. Let me see. Yeah, he looks pretty mean. Yeah, horror is, you're gonna see a lot of horror movies. I mean, there's going. Let me rephrase that. There's gonna be a lot of horror movies coming out in the next few years, because the movie industry is trying to survive and refrain itself. You're also gonna see a lot of really good cinema this year. Like Nolan's making The Odyssey. Then you got the Dune movie coming out. Then you got Werewolf by Robert Eggers. And then yeah, so those guys really make good cinema. They make good movies. They're not like dog shit, pretty much. But horror is really cheap to make, and you could do a lot with it, and you could be really artistic with it, and you can make a ton of profit on it, you know, and take a lot of risks. So you're going to see a lot of horror movies. They can't, you know, it's a good way to make money. It's good. The thing is with horror, it's either good or bad, you know, but there's a ton of it, you know, and it's usually pretty entertaining. You could usually tell like by the first 30 minutes if you're going to like the movie or not. That's what I do now. I used to have this rule where I would listen to a band or watch a movie, and I would just, give them the whole. I would just watch the whole movie. But now my time is actually limited, and my time's actually is money. You'll find that out too once you get older, that time is money. So if I'm into like the third song on the album and I'm not really feeling it, I stop listening to the band. Maybe even the second song. If I'm 30 minutes into a movie and I'm not feeling it, then I'm off. Hey, how's it going? JW loves KNC. Is this from Primal? Yes, it is. This is Spear versus Zombie Spear. Yes, it is. And right now I'm about to draw his hair. So, and I kind of wanted to do something with his hands too, because I'm looking at some of the newer episodes. It looked like he had some type of like claws or something, I was gonna give him a sword. I might even put a sword in his hand too. I might change that because I don't know if I'm 100% on this. I don't know if I'm feeling that 100%. So, but we'll see. Yep. Okay. All right. So we got the hair right here. Let's see. Got the hair like that. Get the little bushy hair like that. He's got the mullet. He's got the Conan mullet, Kind of comes up like that, and then it's kind of jagged. The whole thing about Conan is they would say he would just get his sword and like chop his bangs off if it got in his hair, That's why his bangs are always kind of ratchet, All right. Let's see. Okay. Trying to do this to where it's got a little character, the hair. Little bit of character. Yeah. Let's see here. Great. You are very talented. Wish I could draw half as good as you. Oh, I'm just, nah, but thank you. I appreciate it. You just got to keep, you just gotta practice every day. It's just a muscle. That's all. Anybody could draw. Yeah. Anybody can be a good artist. You just got to be willing to practice and learn and mess up sometimes, A lot of people are afraid of messing up. The only way you can, and I say this like every stream, that's the only way you're going to learn is if you mess up. Think about it. Every single science, every formula of every fact of, science and whatnot, before that, it was a different formula. And then when a new formula comes out, that precedes the other formula, so they have to mess up to get the best formula. So even in science, you have to mess up to keep leveling up fact. You have to mess up. So it is what it is, as they say. All right, so we got that one. I think I'm going to start messing with the hair a little bit. There we go. Once you start putting that hair on, he really comes to life, He starts looking like Spear. Yeah. I don't want to go to my mom auntie funeral soon, but I don't know. Well, sorry to hear about that. Yeah. Yeah. My condolences. That's sad. All right. There's that. Yeah. Okay. In Argentina, we have a quote that says, "You learn from failure, but not so much from success." Yeah, no, that's true. Mm. Yeah, sometimes it's like that. You know, people pass away, and we don't really get to know them too much. You know. Yeah. And then in his arms, he's got these little kind of ruffles that come down like that. So there's that. I kind of want to. Do something like this. So glad I'm off tomorrow. So I can put that like this. All right. Go. Put that back a little bit. Then I could draw the arm kind of coming back like this, you know. Something like that. And I want to have like a little. I want to get like a little finger kind of sticking out, like it's twitching, like ow, you know. Let's see how I can kind of visualize it. There we go. Let's try that out. Oh, BioShock? Yeah, I heard that game is awesome. That was one of the games I missed out on. That and also you know, was it Fallout? Those games are pretty cool. I actually got one in there. I never played it. I got The Witcher also. I never played that. I got all these games because I stopped playing video games. The last game I played was actually God of War. It was fun, but it's either for me it's either video games or comic books, and I want to make comics and draw, like DRAWSTREAM. So trying to, and then I want to get better at art. So I'm gonna start painting too. Hopefully this year. I didn't get to it last year, but let's see. I want to make a little kind of this, and then a fat kind of bump right here. You can see like it looks like there's a. Just don't have the time. And then I hear they're coming out with PlayStation 5 right now. It feels like PlayStation 4 has only been out for a little bit. I never even played PlayStation 4. Not once. Yeah. I only played PlayStation 3. I got the Spider-Man bundle pack with God of War. That's how long ago it was. The first God of War 2, not Ragnarok. There we go. Let's see. All right, now that's a little bit better. Maybe. I don't know. Whoops. Yeah, PS3. I think PS3 is the best. I think that was the pinnacle. It's just the graphics weren't as good, but the game design, the games were better. If you have a good game, the graphics don't really. I don't know. To me, it's not a big deal. The game has to be good. The game's got to be good. Yeah. Yeah, the game's got to be good. There we go. PS4 is cool too. Yeah. Oldie but goldie, huh? All right. Gotta make that. Looks like it's kind of round, you know, like the muscles are getting all messed up. Getting a little bit of a pinch. Getting a little pinch-a-rooney in there. Looks like it hurts a little bit. I think the game is mostly like playing is Sea of Thieves. Oh, okay. Hey, High Life, thanks for stopping by. All right. Right. Did you have an awesome day? Let's see, today. Yeah, today was pretty awesome. It was my Friday, so I hope you did. All right. There we go. Yeah, good Sunday is coming right now. There we go. Yep, church is tomorrow. Ooh, 8 likes. You guys are awesome. Thanks for smashing that like. Everyone that's been hitting the liking and subscribing. We've been going for about almost an hour. I'm happier more now with that face. It's weird. Like, I like the other face more, a little bit, but I'm happy. I'm happier with this because for me it looks a little more like spear. Yeah. Yep. And Spear's face changes around a lot. Like sometimes his teeth have different shapes and stuff. Like I've noticed they draw him a little more sharp when he's growling sometimes, and then sometimes his teeth are like straight. Sometimes when he's chilling, his eyes are really far apart. But when he's mad, his eyes get really big and close together. It's far out. Yeah. Okay, let's get this toe going right here. I'm gonna start drawing this foot. We were talking about it last time that he has no ankles and he has no wrists. He's just a solid like flesh mass of muscle, just a big slab of beef, you know. Yeah, you don't want to mess with him. Man, isn't that cool? You come up with a character like Conan, but a little different, just different enough, you know. I want to do that, man. I want to make a character like I'm going to make a barbarian, but I've been working on it. I'm working on a big barbarian book. And don't get me wrong, HELWÄR is a barbarian. He's a Viking, like a Norse character, but he may or may be someone out of the history books. And I want to make something a little like 100%. I'm gonna make a whole world. I'm working on a world right now. I'm world building. That's it's hard. It's not easy. I know you could plug in, you can make AI build you a whole world in like an hour if you wanted to for D&D and video games and stuff. And for writing, but I want to do it all myself, and then I want to tell stories in there, really cool stories. You had a bad day today, huh? Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that. Yeah, I had a pretty bad day yesterday. I kind of lost my cool, you know, and that ain't cool. You can't be losing your cool. You can't ever let people know your weakness, especially strangers, you know. You got to keep a cool head. That's a fact. Never let people know when you're mad. But yeah, I'm sorry you had a bad day. I hope the next day is better for you. Chuck Scooby. Hey, it's me, Charlie Oliver. Changed my name to Chuck Scooby. Still love your art, man. Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate that. Yeah, it's good to, you know, sometimes you change your name. I changed my name. My channel used to be Metal Movies and Brewskis, but I kind of wanted to kind of bring everything into one name. So now it's BATT MURK, the metal cartoonist. And I don't know. I just really wanted to brand my stuff to where people know that's Matt Burke, you know. And my name is, that's what BATT MURK is. Matt Burke. It's just the first letters and last letters switched around. And my guitar player made that name up 20 years ago. So I just thought of it recently. Oh, that'd be cool. And then I scratched up a little logo that kind of represents some of the art that I do. And so now I'm just, you know, a YouTube artist, comic book creator, you know, that likes metal and comics and nerdy shit like that. So, but anyways, I wanted to have everything just kind of consolidated to one name on all social media. That way, if anyone looks for me, they look for BATT MURK. And there's a lot of Matt Burks in the world. There's like 20 Matt Burks in the world. I think there's 3 in California. So it's not it's a common name. But I recommend if you're young, change your name. Change your last name. I really do. Because all of our forefathers, like for like thousands of years back, they've all changed their names, and they usually changed it for the town they were in or the profession they did, you know? So if like you were, you know, if you were like a tailor, you'd be like Taylorson or something like that, you know? Or the son of somebody like Anders. If your name was Anders, then you'd be son of Anders, you're going to be Anderson, you know? So I know Rob Zombie did that. He changed his last name. And I just think it's cool. Why not? You could be the first person with that name, and then your kids are going to have it for a few thousand years. It's been that way. It always will be that way. But once you start getting older like me, you have to go in there. You got to change your social security number. You got to change everything, you know? But I think that's epic. And I talked to a lot of people about that too, about changing your name. Yo, what's up, Omer? How you doing, buddy? You're up right now. Thanks for stopping by, bro. I've just been having middays. Thank you, friend, everyone. At Browning, Montana, they have fire in the mountains. Ooh, that sucks. Yeah, we usually have fire over here too. Yeah. We gotta stream sometime, Omer. I'm gonna start doing some regular day streams too. I'm gonna do like some like a variety show and stuff like I used to at night. So I'm gonna be doing these and those. So maybe you can come on and hang out. We could chill and draw too at the same time. Maybe I'll hook up my phone and I'll have the camera on my face too for those, and then we can cover some news topics and stuff if you want. I'll probably run those for about an hour during the daytime for a little bit until my schedule changes. Guys, my schedule's changing all the time, but you gotta roll with it. You gotta pivot. You gotta move into those pivots, and you gotta make things happen. You know, otherwise life will pass you by. Hey, what's up, Steve England? How you doing, man? The fonts, cool, huh? Too much drama with the family. Oh yeah, that's yeah. Everyone's got the drama with the family, you know. It sucks. It really does. Yeah, you just gotta kind of get through it, you know. I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer, but you know, I always was told, you know, blood is thicker than water, but it's not all the time. I'm gonna say something, but it might be a little controversial, but sometimes the family tree will have a rotten branch that needs to be severed so the rest of the tree could keep growing. Otherwise, that rotten branch will rot the whole tree and it'll destroy the family tree, if that makes sense. So that is what it is. Planet Hulk. No, this right here is a spear from Primal. So he's fighting the zombie spear right now. So I had to go back and I had to redraw his whole face because he wasn't looking. I like the other face more, but this one's better because it looks more like Spear. The other one was just didn't look like him. So just think about that, though, man. But I will say that always honor your mother and your father, you know, until like it is unbearable, and your family members, especially your mother and your father. But if it's unbearable, then it is what it is. You know, you can only do so much. And sometimes your friends can be more family than your actual family, you know. So just putting that out there. Let's see here. Yeah, I appreciate you too. Thanks for stopping by. Planet Hulk's awesome though. I need to read that. I watched the cartoon, and I've seen some of the books that Romita drew. I got a poster of it in my garage, a little mini one. Oh, so badass. All right, let's finish this foot up right here. Omer, yeah, but if you're still there, buddy, we gotta do that, man. Because I need to start promoting my book more and doing some live streams during the day. I don't know when the schedule's gonna end, but it looks like it's gonna be. It looks like it's going all the way up until March. So I'll maybe we can have a little powwow about that, and I can tell you what's going on, my situation. We could try to set something up. Yep. Yeah, it sucks when you get thrown into the middle of stuff. Sometimes you can't really do anything. You just gotta kind of bob and weave and sidestep, you know, get out of the way. You can't really control anybody. No one could really control. Well, I mean, I don't know if you're big and strong, and there's different. Sometimes you can control people actually, but sometimes you can't. So you got to get out of the way. Okay, got that right there. A little bit right there. Let's see here. Omer's one of my homies. He's got he's a moderator here. Yeah. He makes sure everything's running smooth, and yeah. Make sure there's no riffraff in the chat, you know. Sometimes we get people coming in here talking trash and stuff, and doing bad things, you know, that they shouldn't. That type of thing, you know. Right. There's a mic in your house? I just assume that I'm being recorded a lot of the time. So I always just try to remember, like, whatever I'm going to say, Like I hope I could back it up. It's going to be repeated, you know, because there's microphones in our phones. That's how, like, if you're talking about talking about something with somebody, then all of a sudden something pops up on your phone. It starts doing it for marketing, you know. It's all on your phones. There's cameras in your phones too. Like the tech companies, they could see your phone. They can get in your phone and see whatever you're doing at any time if they want. So you should always know that. And there's cameras all over the place too, outside, everywhere. So just know you're being watched wherever you're at. just be willing to have the conviction to back up your shit, you know, what you're doing and what you're saying. Mimic, huh? Yeah, that's a possibility. It's possible. This guy's hard to draw. He is hulkish. He's like Hulk and Conan put together, but small. A little bit of Wolverine, huh? I guess. Oh, man. Okay, let's see here. Oh, thanks, Omer. Make sure you're dropping your links in there too, buddy. Thanks for the 5 of you guys watching too. Everyone that's hitting the liking and the subscribing, I appreciate it. You guys are cool. Kickstarter. I might have to I made a trailer for my comic I just dropped, and I was gonna I tried to put it on Kickstarter, but it was ultra violent, so they made me take it down. They didn't make me take it down. I had to take it down. So, and I had to censor a lot of my comics because my HELWÄR is going to be very violent. It's a violent book, but it's like Lobo, Thor, and the Hulk put together. That would be, you know, I hate to do that. It's like this and this put together, but with this. But sometimes you got to do that. It kind of helps, you know. And those are the books that I was thinking of when I made it that I like, and those are the characters I like. And I liked, I was thinking of a lot of 90s artists I like, and Walter Simonson, Jack Kirby, all my influences, Frank Miller, Saturday morning cartoons, a lot of Simon Bisley, that whole 90s vibe, the metal scene when I was kind of growing up in the 90s and in the early aughts, it's big influence. He-Man, all the like barbarian stuff. Conan, all that stuff. Yep. Sometimes people think it's like a bad thing, like if you have influences or a lot of stuff, and if you kind of kit bash things, well, that's just this and this and that put together. You just kind of like took these things and stuck them together. Yeah, well, everybody fucking does that. Everybody does that. Like I could take any character and kind of look at it and figured like what your inspiration was, because there's only so many things that you can really take from that isn't known by now. There's only so many big hits and big writers and stuff like, oh, you took this from. I could pretty much do that for any type of genre thing. The only thing I'm a little lack on is like manga influences and stuff like that. But American, oh, dude, don't even try. I'll figure it out. Is that He-Man? Is that Conan inspired? Is that John Constantine? Is that Spawn? Is that Ghost Rider? Is that Sherlock Holmes? Is that like Dracula? Like, dude, everything's been. Is that Star Wars? Is that Boba Fett? Is that Lobo? Yeah, it's just everything's been done, and that's okay. You can do your own tweak and own spin on it, and then everything that's been done, everybody's. You keep going back, you're gonna find out one person inspired that person, and another person inspired that person. But there is some characters though that are totally original. There's just not that many of them, but they do exist. They are out there in the wild. One of them, I and still you could. Spawn's one of them. I thought that was pretty original, but it's really kind of like it's kind of like Doctor Strange and Ghost Rider a little bit, but he looks totally different, you know. And there's a character that came out like kind of right after that was the Darkness. Very similar powers, but he looked a lot different. His costume looked a lot more metal and you know, but he still has like demons and a bunch of demons, the darkness around him. But he's very Spawn, you know. But I always use the Max. I think the Max is one of the most original character concepts I've seen in comics in, you know, decades. And it only lasted a few issues, and the few issues with the potential that they had to do with it, it was it could have been like way better, man. They could have made the Max like Primal. It should have been like Primal. That's what I would do with it. I would love to make a Max comic. I think that's what I would do if I could ever do like a mainstream character. It would be the Max. Totally. Be like right out of left field. Like, what do you want to do? You want to work on Batman? I'm like, nah. I want to work on the Max. I want to go back and like kind of throw some ideas out there to Sam Keith. Like, hey, dude, you're not going to like this. It's not going to be too heady. It's just going to be like pulpy. He's just going to be in Pangea, like running around fucking up monsters and dinosaurs and stuff. You know, let's build this world out. Let's world build. Oh yeah, don't let anybody tell you can't build your world before writing your stories. That's bullshit. Because Robert E. Howard did that his whole life. He was always building his world. He built up most of his world, before he even started writing his Conan epics. So yeah, you could totally do that. Obviously the story's got to be awesome, or stories, but you could build your world up. Because if you have your world and timeline and structure, then you could, that's good. That's just like a blueprint. Then you have your little lore Bible, and then you start writing stories in there and putting characters in there into different events that could happen. Then you could go back and erase stuff. You could erase the history in there and rewrite it, you know, as you're writing some of your books, or as you're writing your first book. Sorry. Once you get that first book out there, though, and there's certain lore, then you can't change nothing. But once you're before you publish that first book, man. But a lot of people, they go real crazy with it. They put all the weather in there and the gravitational pull of their suns and all that. You don't have to do all that shit. Could have a couple battles, a couple catastrophes, a couple crises, a few tribes, a few continents, a couple wizards, a couple gods, you know, a couple monsters. You know, you could design some animals, things like that. Could have some fun with it. Let's see, Leroy LeBold. Hey, thanks for stopping by, man. Appreciate it. Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. I know I am. Ooh, 12 likes. You guys are awesome, man. You guys are awesome. Helping a brother out. That's cool. Thanks for the liking and subscribing. And if you can, go check out my book HELWÄR. It's in pre-campaign right now. It's over on Kickstarter. I got a link pinned to the it's in the description, and there's some right here too that Omer glitch dropped. I appreciate you, Omer. Thank you. And that's my biker Viking comic coming out. It's coming out in March. It's coming out Friday the 13th. So the secret talent is sounding like a donkey. My dad is a big fan of He-Man. Yeah, I'm a big fan of He-Man also, man. He's cool. He's just Conan and Thor put together, pretty much. It's just Conan and Thor put together. He's a ripoff of Conan, big time. But he's cool. I recommend watching the Cartoon Network version. It's on Prime right now. It's from like the early aughts. It's from like 2000 or something like that. That one has like the best lore, the best action. The first 2 episodes? Oh my God, they're so good. I think the first 3 are so good. The action's so good in there. It's definitely manga inspired too. The action sequences. But the 80s version of He-Man, I'm not a fan of. And when I was a kid, I loved it, but I was like 4 years old watching it, so I didn't know any better. You know? Your uncles are being drunk, sadly. She-Man 2. Was it Tila? I'm looking forward to the movie, man. I got my boy. They did a crossover with Stranger Things, so it came in a pack. So you get Skeletor and Barbarian, the Barbarian Demogorgon, and then another pack came with He-Man and Barbarian Vecna. So they're like super buff, you know. It was like the Upside Down merges with Eternia, and yeah. Sometimes me and him we set up and play, but I want to get some more He-Man, and I want to get some Conan toys too. Yeah, and then eventually he's gonna be like, "Oh, Dad, this is boring. This isn't cool, Dad. It's stupid." You know, don't take long. You know, because one day you pick up those toys, and then they're just gonna feel stupid. You're like, "What am I doing?" And you're just gonna drop it, and you're gonna go pick up a controller, and you know. But there's that magic when you're a kid, the innocence. You know, that fun playing the game, the playing with the action figures. You know, when you get older, you might buy the toys and collect them, but I remember being a kid and playing with my Ninja Turtles and my He-Mans, and I had a Marvel characters, and you know, I had fun. I'd have them all set up, and then one day I picked up one of the action figures, and I didn't want to play anymore, and then I just stopped playing with them. But I would still collect. I'd still collect them, and I still have a lot of the toys too from when I was a little kid. Got a bunch of Marvel. I got none of the He-Mans though. Those got stolen. My neighbor stole a lot of them. Little assholes. Yeah. But yeah, I still got some toys. I got some Hellboy toys. I got some stuff I want to sell too. I'm gonna start selling some stuff. Yeah. Yeah, but sorry about your hope your uncles are okay. Just probably give them their space, you know, let them do their thing, you know. If they're getting too, I don't know. Gotta watch out. Some people drink too much, they get scary. Just kind of give them their space, maybe. Let's see here. Unpredictable. All right. I wanted to maybe have some mud right here, like he's stepping down in the mud. That's what I'm drawing. Sorry, guys. I'm rambling on right here. I'm not showing you anything. I'm being a dum-dum. But yeah, me and the boy, we're looking forward to the new He-Man movie coming out. And I'm hearing it's decent. I'm hearing it's a decent movie. See, old shit is good to sell, but it's difficult to get rid of the old memories, in my opinion. Yeah, right. I got a bunch of Hellboys too. If you wouldn't believe it, they're worth some money too. So I got some big Hellboys, man. They're like big ass from the movie, you know. I don't want to sell them. I got another Hellboy like that too. I had an Ape Sapien, but it got stolen. I got a Cronin from Hellboy 2. I don't know if you guys remember Cronin, with the bad guy with the swords. The Nazi dude. Yeah, he's scary. Yeah, Guillermo del Toro, man, he makes some good movies. See, Zesty Kiwi, thanks for stopping by. Can't wait to go to New Zealand, man. Can't wait to go to Hobbiton. Everyone's wanting the new Lord of the Rings is getting made, the new Quest for Gollum. And Viggo Mortensen's like, I'm not playing Aragorn anymore. I'm not gonna do it. The contract wasn't good enough. I don't know. he's like, I'm not gonna do it. So everyone's saying everyone wants Cavill. Everyone wants Cavill for Aragorn. He would be good, but he's gonna have to stop hitting he's gonna have to like lose weight and get real skinny to kind of be like a different version of Aragorn, but which is kind of weird because I don't know, man. They got to find someone that looks like him a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe not. I guess they're just going to recast him. Fuck it. But I seriously think that oh man, my leg getting pains in my leg. I seriously think Cavill should just play Conan. He looks like if you guys know who John Buscema is, he was the artist that drew Conan, the Savage Sword of Conan. He looks, that version looks a little bit like Henry Cavill. I think he would be good. And I've been saying that for a while. A lot of people have been doing AI like videos of him on YouTube also. So I'll at this point I'm not the only one. I stupidly got in an argument with a guy on YouTube in a YouTube comment section. He's like, "What are you thinking? Cavill would be horrible." I'm like, "No, he'd be pretty good actually. Yeah, he'd be pretty good, And it's like he gets a lot of roles and stuff like The Witcher and Highlander and yada yada yada. But it's like, nah, he'd be a good Conan. Let's see here, fan goated. You're trying to get yourself banned. Thanks, Arya Phoenix. Appreciate it. Okay. I gotta start working on this guy up here. Yeah. Working on that. And I'm probably gonna go get a drink. Ooh, 13 likes. You guys are awesome. Let's see. Yeah, I gotta start working on the this guy right here. I like the way his face looks, but I don't know. It's not on point. I don't think it's not on brand with not on brand. It's not on point with. I think I could do better to make him look more like Zombie Spear. But I do like that. I don't want to change it, but I'm just not feeling it. But with that being said, I'm gonna go get me a little bit of that. I think it's called King's Creek whiskey. I'll be right back, guys. Just give me a minute. Give me about 1.5 minutes. All right. Aliens, cheers. Drink responsibly. Yeah, I believe in aliens. I think anything's possible. I think it's kind of dumb to kind of just say, "Oh no, that doesn't exist." But I also think a lot of things. I also think that humans and governments, I think people kind of give them a little too much credit on certain things. I think they're stupider than we realize in some ways. Like they also make a lot of human errors that you wouldn't believe. Like, damn, they're fucking stupid. I can't believe they let that happen, But then on top of that, they do really technical and conniving things too that we wouldn't believe. So I think it's a little bit of both. But I keep an open mind, You believe in Sasquatch? You believe in Loch Ness Monster? Maybe a little bit. I think it might be probable. Stuff like that. Yeah. They confirm things do exist in space, but we've kind of known that already. Listen, I got Ancient Aliens playing on my TV 24/7. That's like the channel, you know? So I hear all the conspiracies, and I listened to Art Bell growing up, and Bob Lazar and all that stuff. Check out the Bob Lazar story. And then the Travis Walton story, that's crazy too. That's the guy that did Fire in the Sky, or the story about Fire in the Sky. Ooh, that's wild. Yeah, Primal's awesome. I would definitely draw some battle sequences from the cartoon. He's got that little thing on his nose too. It kind of comes down like that. Got to keep it gangster. Got to keep it gangster. Yeah. But the Bob Lazar story, or the Travis Walton story, is even crazier. I forgot. I got to go back and watch the. I have to watch the interview with Joe Rogan. But he's and I guess in real life he was more of a badass than really what happened in the movie. Football. How you doing? Thanks for stopping by. Got a question, huh? You got questions? I got answers. Let's see here. Oh, wow. Yeah, see, because Spear uses a bunch of swords and weapons. He doesn't just use the spear, you know. But obviously the spear is iconic with him. So that's kind of why I wanted to do that, you know. Yeah. Yeah, so the nostrils, for one, have to come up here. So I'm going to have to change those nostrils up. That's going to change things a little bit. Okay. All right. There's that, and then he has this kind of thing coming down like that where his jaw's sort of exposed. And then there's that. There we go. It's a little more on brand. Kind of scary. It's actually a little scarier, to be honest. Yeah, a little bit. I'm going to do that thing too right there. Yeah, a little low-key scarier. Yeah. A little bit. And then I'm going to do that. Have the brain kind of coming out like that. And then I'm going to erase a little bit. So right now I'm looking at some references just to kind of tie this in a little bit. And get rid of that. He's got a mean skullet. This dude got a mean skullet. There we go. All right. There we go. All right. All right. No matter how you slice it, this guy has got some massive eyeballs. So I'm going to have to get in there with that. I do like those eyeballs, but yeah, I'm going to do this. All right. The movie I want to watch is Chucky. Yeah, there's a million of those Chucky movies. A million Chucky movies. Chucky. Yeah. Okay, we got this. Have some of that. Hey, yeah, get some rest, man. Stay safe. Yep. Stay safe out there. God bless. Be safe out there. We'll get the hair in there. There we go. It's looking a little bit more like zombie right there. Now let's make these eyes a little bigger. Let's make these eyes. Let me clean my eraser. All right. There we go. Ah. There we go. Okay. And then I'm probably going to do a little bit of this action like that. Just kind of break that up. Like that. Do a little bit of that and that. There we go. Okay. I wonder what time that episode drops. I mean, it's supposed to drop today, but I mean, I wonder what time. I wonder if it's out right now. I'm going to go watch it. I so want to go watch it. There we go. Looks a little scarier now, huh? Wow. Okay. Yeah, a little bit. Kind of like the other one more a little bit, but again, this one's a little more like the character. Let's see. I'm going to try to build these cheeks out a little bit, these cheekbones. Yeah. I was going to listen to some music, but it's getting kind of late. I think I'm going to draw a little bit of that. There we go. We had to put the jaw in there a little bigger. There we go. He looks a little kind of messed up. It is scary. It is, right? There we go. Yeah, he looks scary. I mean, he's pretty scary. He's kind of scary in the show. It's definitely a horror show, like even more horrific. Okay, check out my reference right now. You know, you got like there he is right there. You know, you got another one. Look at that. Not much detail, so I could kind of play with it a little bit. You know, he's kind of got a little one of these things going. I could probably, let's see here. Probably play around with that a little bit. I think I want to do that. He's not even. He's pretty iconoclastic too. The new one. Yeah, I kind of want to play with this nose a little bit. I do like this nose too, but it's not. It's just not there. Let me see if I could do it right. Just not there yet. Okay, let me try this one more time. Oh, okay. So we're gonna do this. All right, here we go. He has two little slants right there. Let me try that out. There we go. There's two little slants right there. And then I want to, yeah, live streams. I don't watch live streams either. And funny enough, a lot of people don't like watching live draw streams. You know, they get bored. But for some reason now, people like watching live draw streams. The only reason I could think people like watching live draw streams now is because a lot of people do things with AI now. I guess I really don't know. I mean, that way you could kind of talk to the artist while they're drawing it, and that's the only thing I could think of. Because before it was just boring live stream, they don't want to watch. But yeah, let me get those eyes open a little bit. That looks even scarier. There we go. There we go. I'm gonna do this like that. I'm gonna have it just kind of go boom like that. Yeah, that's scarier. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty scary. Okay. Yeah, in the show they got him kind of like, I don't think he's wearing any pants, but I'm gonna give him pants because it's just kind of weird. And his is gonna be like black. I mean, that makes him more scary, but yeah, it's like, I'm not a big fan of naked dudes running around. It's not my thing. Let's see here. Anna YouTube. Hey, 34. Thanks for stopping by. We're drawing some primal action right now. We're drawing a spear versus zombie spear from season 3. And episode 2 is dropping, I think, tonight. Yeah, cheers, by the way. All right. Let's see here. I'm thinking I might I don't know, man. I don't know. No, there's just something about this I'm not feeling that spear going through there. Yeah, there's something about it. I might have to rock it regardless though, but I'm not feeling it. 15 likes. Whoa, you guys are awesome. Hell yeah. That's what's up. You guys don't have to hit the like, but thanks for hitting the like. Yeah. Oh, you're an artist too? Hell yeah. Yeah. Me too. I'm an artist too. It's kind of cringe saying that, like for me. But yeah, I am an artist, It's something you have to say, and you either are or you're not. You got to say it. I was a little like side thing, but not 100% far off. But I was telling my kid today, I'm like, she wants to draw and stuff, and we're picking out pencils tonight at the art section of Hobby Lobby. I'm telling her, if you're gonna be an artist though, you got to be willing to like sell your art someday. You want to sell it. You want to keep maybe 20% and sell like 80. Keep for yourself maybe some of the pieces you really love and save for your family or keep them. And then you want to start selling it. And then we're looking at sketchbooks. I'm like, you got to get probably the Japanese ones, because the Japanese ones, they're wide like that. They're pretty big. Then they have that strap in there so you can lock it. But what the brilliant thing is, you could tear the pages out, So I'm just saying, like, maybe you're doing a show somewhere, maybe you're at the park or I don't know, somewhere, and someone walks by and they see you drawing something. You're going to want to be able to tear that out nice and clean and then just sell it to them on the spot. You could do that. And a lot of these nice drawing books, you can't rip them out. You can't rip the page out. But a lot of Japanese sketchbooks, they're like pretty big, and you could tear them, you could rip the pages out, and they got little like manila folders built into the back, and they're usually like $20 or something. Perfect for that. So I know it's a little side quest topic right there, but everyone on this channel that's watching, look into just kind of Google like Japanese sketchbooks, because I have my sketchbook right here for I got it at Walmart. And let me show you guys. Let me got it in my tack pack. And I really like it, but I like the one in the ones from Japan. It's just like Japan's got like the best art supplies. But I do like this one right here. See? It's called like Pentalic, but it's got that lock, that strap lock, but you can't, it's got the manila in it. Oh, I don't want to spoil anything. I got this is all just for character designs. It's got that little erasing dust in there. It's got that little pocket in the back, so you can, little folder built in, that manila folder. And a lot of the Japanese ones have that too. Oh, it already ripped somehow for some reason. It's not good. But yeah, then you got your little stuff. I could show you that. That's my Crom the Barbarian. I'm going to be doing some stories with him. And I designed his crown. I did that on a live stream. But yeah, you could do that. See, there's another one of the characters in there. Yep. But I can't tear these out, you know? So like the drawing books from Japan, they all like have nice, you can tear them out, and they're Bristol boards. If you guys know what Bristol is, that's this paper. It's really thick, you know? So just a little something. Something. Dang, man. See, and then I ripped this ripped right here. I didn't even see that from the bookmark. That's another thing. It's got a bookmark in it. Yeah, this was like $10 at Walmart. You know, sketchbooks are cool though, for a multitude of reasons. You know, a lot of people do shows where live streams where they draw on both pages. I think that's really cool. You know, dang, that's really annoying that poor little folder in the back got ripped. Oh well. But yeah, this baby I'm filling up with character designs. I haven't got in there for about a month though, but I always have that on me. Everyone, you know, it's good to have like a tack pack. You know, if you ever, you know, like a tactical drawing pack, so you can carry all your drawing supplies in there on the road. Carry some beef jerky in there, some trail mix, you know, all that stuff. Maybe a tablet, maybe some big Bristol, maybe some 11x14s. You never know. You never know. All right, so we got that. Sorry for the side quest, guys, but I think that's important. I know I don't talk about art enough on here enough. I got to start making some more art topic videos. And then once I learn how to paint, then I could do that too. I just want to make things accessible to people, you know. If people have questions, I want to be able to help them. And there's a lot of stuff that I don't know. I'm very green. And I'm old, so I'm a grayish green artist. All right. So I think the incision needs to get probably like maybe like right here. I'm going to move it down a little bit. Move it down a little bit. And yeah, move it down a bit. So you can see it kind of going in like right by his rib cage. And I'll erase this right here. There we go. Yeah, I really wanted to put on some metal. Yeah. That looks okay. But see the problem is this, you know, I like talking about my problems. I like showing you guys my process, because this would be like a poster or a cover or just something, you know. It has potential to be that, you know what I mean, or a print. I could color this, or I could pay for someone to color this or paint it, or I could color it myself and then print it out and sell prints. Stuff like that, but I don't. But I like to make things, basically show you guys how I do like pinups and stuff like that, you know. But like right here, for me, when I'm showing action, like this is it's really subtle. So that might be kind of cool, a little subtle, like a little it's coming through the back right there. But for me, I don't really do subtle. I like doing things big and bombastic, you know. It's on the Metal Cartoonist. And yeah, dude. So, and the thing is, I'd have to move this arm up like that. And I kind of low-key like the way this arm looks. Wardruna. I've heard that name, Wardruna. Sorry, it escapes me. What's Wardruna? Is that a anime or something like that? Sorry. I'm boomering out on that. To boomer or not to boomer? That is the question. A metal band. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I've heard of them. I know I've heard of them before. I know it. I got a bunch of patches coming in the mail too. I bought a bunch of metal patches. I'm gonna start working on my battle vest. Yep. I got a cool battle vest I'm making. The thing is, a lot of the battle vests, they're so corporate now, man. Like people, like you could buy battle vests made, and it's just kind of like posery, you know. If you guys are gonna make a battle vest, do it yourself. But I got something that I've wanted to make for a long time, and I've been in a bunch of metal bands, and I never made a battle vest just because I just never got around to it. But there was an idea that I had for a battle vest, a type of vest that I never really seen too many people do. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I started working on it last night. So I got some patches. My battle vest is gonna have metal bands, but it's also gonna have I'm also gonna have patches from like comic books and just stuff that I like, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna have my daughter or my wife try to sew it for me, hopefully. Yeah, because I'm not good with the sewing machine. Yep. But I'll have it ready pretty soon. Yeah. But make sure you buy your battle vest. Like go get a nice leather, a nice Levi jacket or something. If you can. You can even go to the thrift store and pick one up. You put the patches on there, the bands you like, you know. But it is kind of trendy, but it's like, dude, I've always wanted a battle vest. So, and a lot of bands I like, they don't even have patches. I'm like, what are you guys doing? You know, like so many bands are like, how can you guys not have patches? That should be the first thing you make before like you make one t-shirt and then you start doing patches. At least one patch. There's bands that I've been listening to for 20 years. They don't have any stinking patches. I'm like, come on, guys, get with the program, you know? Let's see, Sam Hernandez. Thanks for stopping by, man. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Hey, you know what I got a patch of? I don't give a fuck either. I got a patch of Brutal Legend. Have you guys played Brutal Legend? I don't care. I will shamelessly put a Brutal Legend patch on my battle vest because that game is metal as fuck. Super X. Hey, thanks for stopping by. I will shamelessly put that on there. You know. But for my book, like I think I was saying earlier, HELWÄR. If I made like tons of money on my campaign, which I never will, but if I made like a couple $1,000s, I would straight up make a HELWÄR patch, which is it's just the logo. I don't have it right here, but it's all over the place. It's an axe guitar with HELWÄR. That's the patch, you know. And then in the book, so that's a metal band patch, right? And then in the book, there's biker gangs, or there's one biker gang, but there is more biker gangs if I were to expand on and do more stories, because I have 2 more ideas of stories lined up. There is a trilogy of books, but I don't know if I'm going to make them or not. It just depends on how this goes. But the book opens up in Death Valley, California. It starts right in Death Valley, California, you know, and he's sitting outside of a biker bar, like a motorcycle club. Think Sons of Anarchy for those of you guys like. And the biker bar it's a bunch of dead Viking bikers, and those are called Draugr or Drogs or Draugr, however you want to pronounce it, right? So I call those guys the Death Valley Drogs. So he's just there. He goes right through the fucking wall. Boom. You know, he goes in there and he's looking for Hornface, and he's like he's one of the, you know, one of the sorry guys, I'm losing the name. I don't know if it's Sergeant of Arms or Road Captain, but his name's Hornface, and he's like a mini boss in the story, and he's looking for a horn. And there's some horns my HELWÄR's looking for in the book. Okay, I don't want to spoil it too much, but if you guys look into certain horns, there's some horns in Norse mythology that are pretty important, and they do certain things, you know, and it has to do with a little bit of mead. The thing is, if you look into a little bit of Norse mythology, then you can know what's in my book, and I'm trying not to spoon feed it too much. Hey, what's up, Don? How you doing, brother? Thanks for stopping by. What's cracking? Hope you're doing good, man. So, but anyways, I wanted to do a Death Valley Drogs patch, and I have it's like a metal Viking mask, you know, with horns, and I thought that would always been cool. So yeah, like that's like bucket list shit, you know. The first stretch goal would be an actual record sleeve that I could put the record looking comic in the record sleeve, you know. So, but it's not gonna happen. I'm gonna be lucky if I even get the book printed, you know. I just want to get the fucking thing printed, and if I can't get it printed, then I will print it myself one day. I will save my money, and if it takes a few years to do it, it's gonna happen. I'm gonna do it. No matter what, I will do it. Nothing's gonna stop me. But and then I'm still working on a couple other books too. But one of the books is the Crom anthology, which I'm working on, and that's like a manga format. Don, you should look into that, brother. Look into the Crom anthology. And creators basically they make a Crom story. You meet up with hit up the Kurt Bruegel. If you don't know who he is, he's the guy that runs cromthebarbarian.com, and I'm basically doing a chapter a year. I'm doing 9 pages, so I've already written the story, so I'm going to be dropping a chapter a year, 9 pages, and probably between 3 to 5 years, you put all those 9 pages together, you got a comic. You got a black and white comic, but it's also going to be in an anthology. So if you're still here, Don, let's see here, and the Crom's in public Crom's in the public domain, so this is the first Crom anthology, and hopefully tomorrow I could get in here and I could fucking start reading this. But it's all indie creators, baby. You know, Savage Sword of Conan style. You know, and they're gonna be putting these out every year. You guys can go buy these right now too. It's like $35. It's 250 pages of sword and sorcery by independent comic book creators. You can also pick up the Crom. This is the Crom Collected. So Crom is a character that's been around. He's created by Gardner S. Fox. And Gardner S. Fox created Hawkman. He also created Batman's utility belt. And he also created Crom the Barbarian. And Crom the Barbarian was the first ever published barbarian in comics. So he predates Conan in comics. And obviously he was a fan of Conan. That's why he put... that's why you make Crom, you know. So this has all the it has the reprinted Crom stories in here, guys, from the 1950s. So he only made 3 Crom comics. So you could read these. That's what I did. I read them. It's like a Bible. And there's even a little pastiche in the back, a nice story called Crom and the Wizard of Sharador. So it's cool too. Like if anyone's watching, like artists, guys, you don't have to make comics all the time. You can write a dope ass fucking story, and you could do a little spot illustration in the middle. You know, I know, like a lot of cats could do that. You know, but that's something you could look into. The Crom universe. You go to crom.com, cromthebarbarian.com. Sorry. Yeah, it is amazing. So I'm gonna probably be in Crom the Barbarian volume number 2. Like a pinup I have, probably. It's not 100%, but it probably is. And then my first story is going to be in 3. So that's going to be like 3 years out from now. So, and that's fine with me. I don't care. I'm playing the long game. And I already have my Crom piece right here done. I just sent it over to him. So let me show you guys. See if I can find it right here. Ay. And I'm doing a King Crom. I'm doing an old Crom story. You know, and this is one of the scenes in the story. It's in the beginning. They break into his bedroom. And they wake him and his lady up. These guys right here. So this is just like a pinup I did. So it's probably going to be printed in the second one. And it's like kind of a little preview of what's going to happen in the story. So I'm real excited about that. That's going to be fun. So I'm working on that, and I'm working on my book HELWÄR. That's or HELWÄR's done. I'm lettering HELWÄR right now, and then I'm drawing the Puritanian, and that's a book I'm working on with my buddy Brian. That's a witch hunter or a vampire hunter book. So I got a lot of irons in the fire, and I think it's good to have irons in the fire, you know, because you want to have a bunch of books. You want to be working on a bunch of stuff. The first book I did, I worked on for 10 years straight. very militant, very just work on it. Boom, 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 boom. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm doing fun live streams of stuff that I feel inspired to draw. I'm hanging out with you guys. I'm doing another comic. And then I'm working on one comic and then an anthology story. So just that way it keeps the juices flowing, because you don't want to. Personally, for me, I don't want to work on one thing because I'll get burned out on it, and then my work might suffer from it for that specific IP. You know, I think you need to go back to the well of rejuvenation and work on a bunch of different stuff. That's just my opinion. I think that keeps the electricity going. You know, it keeps it flowing. I don't know. You gotta do what works for you. You know. But my goal is to create a bunch of comic books in the next 10 years. That's my 10-year goal. I want to have a library of stuff I've worked on. So I'm going to try to, I really, really want to try to do like a 50-page black and white comic a year. That would be awesome. Here I'm rambling on like a fool. Get back to the story. Sorry guys, but I gotta let people know what's going on. And I have links in the description of cromthebarbarian.com. Also, while we're talking about this, we're talking about barbarians and sword and sorcery, and that's low key my favorite genre. Robert E. Howard, his house, it's in Cross Plains, Texas. It's fallen apart. It's a museum. It's where he wrote. You can go there and check it out. They have a convention that goes down every year around June. And it's falling apart. So the Robert E. Howard Foundation, if you guys want to donate a couple bucks to that, it could go into the restoration of the house. It's like bowing out at the bottom, guys. So something to think about. Just throwing that out there. I plan on donating some bucks to it. You know, a little bit of something, if you can, is better than a whole lot of nothing. I always say that. So that's something to think about. And Howard, man, if you know, everyone that loves Conan and He-Man, that all came from him. Solomon Kane, all that stuff. Primal, you know, Crom, all that stuff. So, all right. So we got this dude right here. I'm kind of happy with the way he looks, because it's got Gindy. That's his name. I always want to say Gennady. It's got Gindy's look to it, but also I need to have me in there. so that, you know, and there's a little bit, that's him right there. Let's get some brutal action. There we go. There's that one, you know. Oh man, I can't wait to watch this tonight. Oh, look at he's fighting a fucking lion. Look at that. Wow. Sorry guys, if you haven't seen Primal, you gotta go watch season 1 and 2. I remember working during the pandemic, watching that. I'd come home from work, come home from the pandemic. I was working grocery. I come home, put on some Primal, and, you know, just throw back a thing of whiskey and just sit there and watch it. It's just awesome. Good shit. It's good old pulpy Primal, you know. A little bit of Howard, a little bit of Gindy, a little bit of Edgar Rice Burroughs, a little bit of metal. All right, so I think that's okay. I think I can work with that. But I really don't like this. I mean, this is serviceable. It's low key. But something about me, I'm gonna have to reposition that arm. Let me look in the mirror real quick. I like to look in. I got a mirror next to my table right here, and then let me try to. Another thing is this thing's down too low. If you guys haven't checked out Don Draw Stuff, you guys go subscribe to his channel. They do an awesome live. They got the best live drawing show on, as far as I know, on YouTube right now. With artists that's every Saturday night. It's fucking awesome. I haven't checked it out in a while, but I've seen it. I get it in my feed, and just the work that these guys are putting out, it's just phenomenal. It's just next level shit. He just pulls it's the greatest artist on there. So if you guys can, go subscribe to Don Draws. He is a great host on that show. He is so fucking funny. He's one of the funniest artists out there right now, and he's just naturally funny. Him and Omer Glitch. Those motherfuckers are funny as hell. Oh my god. Go subscribe to both of them. Oh, thank you, guy. I appreciate you. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I'm trying to draw these dudes right here. They're fun. It's the same guy without spoiling too much. 18 likes. What the fuck? You guys are awesome, dude. What was I doing? Sorry. Okay, yeah, I was thinking about that. I was gonna look in the mirror. I'm looking at it right now, trying to get some ideas. I'm slow. Need to get faster. Slow. That'll look kind of whack. See, I'm editing in my head right now. I'm looking at the arm, what I could do with it. You know, and it's weird once you start drawing stuff. You gotta redraw the whole arm. Sometimes you just gotta. That's how it is, guys. You gotta redraw whole limbs and stuff like that. You move one little thing, and then when you're doing traditional, it's like, and I try to draw really light because you for each ligament you only get about 3 erasings, 3 to 5. Then you start smearing and you start leaving stains, and it becomes a mess. But the ends justify the means, man. Because you could sell this piece. You could sell this piece of art if you wanted to. Let's see here. Okay. Let's see. No, that's not going to work either. Wow. There's a guy named Delta from BioShock 2 that I'm drawing. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that seems like a really cool game that I kind of just missed out on, So right now I looked in the mirror at this. I didn't get it. I got some ideas. I wasn't happy with it. Yeah, man. I'm afraid right now. I don't want to erase that arm, but I think I'm going to, just because I don't like the impact of this. It's not primal enough. It's not brutal enough, That spear needs to be way out here, and there needs to be a bunch of stuff going on. So maybe my brain's just having trouble like conceptualizing it because this stuff's in the way. Let me get out of there. Here we go. Oh, let's see here. Do. There we go. Yeah. All right. But yeah, if you guys can, go subscribe to Don. I don't know if Don's still in the chat. You still there, Don? I don't think so. I think he bounced. He's a little under the weather tonight. I was under the weather for weeks, man. Oh my gosh. So much junk going around. You still there, Don? Okay. See that? I got rid of that arm that I wanted. It's gone. There we go. Let's see here. So right now I'm just kind of drawing some shapes and seeing if I can kind of see what I need. Kind of feeling that right there. See, the thing is too, if I had seen all the episodes of the new season, I can get new ideas. And I know that I think that he gets like some bone claws, kind of like Wolverine or something like that, or his hands get kind of like exposed, his fingers. Because I'm thinking they got this fool going through the whole season, like just falling apart, having to deal with shit, you know. Oh man, I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people have seen the show, but a lot of people have not seen the show, and I don't. It's so fucking good that I don't want to spoil it, especially for artists, man. Oh my gosh, oh wow. I might be able to get away with that. Let's see here. Boom, 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 boom. Could probably get away with that. I might have to redraw Spear's arm. I think it's gonna have to be a compromise. Because that's a cool little gap right here, but I want a bigger gap, you know? And then with that, I'm gonna have to drop the arm down right here, and then I'm gonna have to shoot it out this way. And I'm gonna do that. You gotta make those hard decisions sometimes. To the best of my abilities. I don't know what I'm doing, but hey, here we go. All right, so I could throw a ruler in there too. Let me erase that ruler. I didn't want to erase those marks yet, but I'm gonna have to. But you got to do that, guys. Never grow too attached to your drawing, you know? Don't grow too attached to it. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put this spear where I want the spear to be. Okay, I want it to come out right here. Boom. All right. I want it to come right there. Okay, and I wanted to give him a sword too, but again, his name is Spear, and that's his kind of iconoclastic weapon. And he does use scimitars and swords. He gets the Viking sword in there. I can't wait to talk about something on this show like next year from now. There's something that's fucking crazy, a topic I want to talk about. I'm gonna have to wait a year though till after my book comes out. So then I'll be like willing to talk about it. That has to do with this show and HELWÄR. Let's see here, Maddie. Hello, I'm just here, yo. Say keep up the good work because that's amazing. Thanks, Maddie, and thanks for stopping by. Please consider liking and subscribing. I'm a combo creator, and I do live draw streams of just stuff I like to draw. Sometimes I do like polls and whatnot for people to kind of pick things. If I'm lucky enough to get votes, and I make comics and stuff. So thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you. Right now I'm drawing a zombie spear versus human spear from the show Primal. If you haven't watched Primal, please go check it out. It's the best TV show since Ash versus Evil Dead, in my humble opinion. All right, so this is cool right here. We got the spear. And what's gnarly about spears is you can literally chop the top of someone's head off like a bowl, like just the top right off like that with a spear. I didn't know that. I did not know that. When you think about that, you know, like spears, you know, a lot of people like spears. That's why that's like one of their favorite weapons. Even in like Viking times, they love the spears because, you know, you could throw a spear. You could like position yourself like a horse is riding at you. You could take the spear up like that. There's so much stuff you could do with a spear. You can fish with it. You could put like the spear fishing, you know. So you could joust with the spear. Oh my gosh, you could do so much stuff with a spear. And I always thought spears were lame. I thought they were cool, like they were cool walking sticks. But then I think about it now and I'm like, wow, that's cool. And then Vikings really like the spears. I like to say Vikings more than the Norse or Nordic culture or Scandinavians. I like to say Vikings. You know, it is what it is. Vikings, they like the spears because they're made of wood from the tree of Yggdrasil. You know, and that was the connection to the earth and the tree and the wood, and the spear is mostly, you know, it's made of wood. It's a big old staff, and then you have the little blade at the end, you know. So it was very very earthy and ethereal to them. You know, when a spear was very spiritual too. The spear is very important in different cultures, and I could see why it was in Viking culture. So now I have this spear coming through right here. I'm going to do a little bit of erasing right now, just so I can see what's really going on. I might have to draw his anatomy again, but I really need that action. That action. I kind of my art's kind of driven by action. Sounds so cringe, but it is, man. Like, my art's driven by action, you know. And I am an artist. Am I good? Probably not. And all you artists watching out there, you have to fucking say you're an artist. If you're a comic artist, you're a fucking artist. It is what it is. We need to start coming to terms with that, man. We need to start selling art. We need to start just doing art. We're traditional artists, you know. Maybe we're not all good. Maybe we're not all bad, you know. It's like that, what movie was it? Avatar. Hey, a lot of people say it's bad, you know. Like what I say about Avatar, you know, it's you know, it's not that bad actually. I actually like Avatar. I think they're pretty cool. It's kind of pulpy, and then you could see kind of some of his influences, like Mobius and Gerard. A lot of the heavy metal. There's a lot of heavy metal stuff in there, because he was a fan. Cameron was a fan of Heavy Metal Magazine. I did his head, but you need to see how it looks. Man, he's so fucking cool. Whose head did you draw, man? I know you were drawing something else. Was it BioShock? You're talking about BioShock earlier, I think, right? Excuse me. Yeah, BioShock. Is it the dude with the circular head, and then it has like that gate that opens up, that old like scuba diver helmet thingamajigger? Delta? Oh man, I'm sorry, I don't know the lore of that, but I always thought it looked so cool. And there's just something so cool about the 1950s, man. You know, so cool. You know, people just dress so nice. You know what I mean? And look so classy. 50s and 60s, a little bit of the 40s too, but the 50s, man. But you know what? That game probably might be 1940s style. Either way, man. 40s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. They look. Everybody looks sharp. That was a good word. Everybody looks sharp, and it was a nice time. You can basically just work any job and go buy a house. You know, I know I'm derailing a little bit, but I'm yapping. But I'm having a good time, and thanks for stopping by, guys. I appreciate you. All right. So we have this right here. Let me see. And I got to do something to where we can post art. You know what I mean? So you could post your art up. Like I think I need to have like a certain size, because there's some YouTubers that have like an art community where they can just post art and stuff like that in there. But I'm not a big timer, so I don't think I can do that. But that would be sick, bro. Like we can all post all of our art in my whatever it's called, dude. Community, you know? Because there is a community, but I don't know if we can all post art in there. There's a way though, like everybody that's in there can post art, and we can all promote our shit within this, you know. There's one dude I follow, ZHC. I know you probably know who ZHC is. That kid is one of the first YouTubers I ever subscribed to. And he's a badass. And you can go in there. He has like a little, I don't know if it's like a group with like thousands of people that people can post art in there. I posted a HELWÄR picture in there like maybe a year ago. I got some likes and stuff. It's pretty cool. But man, that kid, he's huge. He's got 1 million subscribers, and he's a comic book artist. But he doesn't do comic books. He does like weird challenges and stuff now, you know? And he draws like David Finch. And he was one of the first YouTube guys I subscribed to was him. The first YouTube channels, guys, full stop, that I subscribed to, it was ZHC. It was Minty Comedic Arts. Was Minty Comedic Arts? Yeah, this dude that does like movie trivia. He's like a human DVD. Like, no, he just does deep dives on movies. If you guys haven't checked out Minty Comedic Arts, it's all movie trivia. It's fucking cool, and he does all the coolest movies. Right? He's from Australia. Dude built he built a Blockbuster Video in his garage, so he can literally walk in there and rent his own movies. I don't know, man. If you guys weren't around when Blockbuster was around, dude, it was fucking cool, man. You know, you walk into even video stores. You walk in there, you look around, you pick up a movie, you put it back, you put it down, you pick up another movie, scratch your face a little bit, you know, I don't know. Okay, I'll get this. Then you walk over to the fucking video games, bro. You walk over to the video games and you start looking at the video games. I'll pick that up. You get the video games, you get that. Then some other asshole walks in. You guys start talking. It's like the comic book camaraderie, you know? There's little things like that. Little things like that we don't have anymore, you know? And you miss. Like, I remember going to the movie theaters and I used to hate when people were talking and people were yelling, "Oh, no, motherfucker, don't go in there. Don't go in there." You know, now I'm like, dude, I miss that shit. I miss bumping into people like in the video store, in the Tower Records, picking up a CD, things like that. Comic book stores. Everybody's so they're not into themselves, but they're just like on their phones and stuff. And I don't know, man. It's just kind of weird. There's just a big disconnect, you know? It's sad. Like it's just sad the way the world's going. But anyways, I know I sidetracked yet again, but the first YouTube channels I subscribed to was ZHC. Like in no particular order, it was ZHC. It was Minty Comedic Arts, Lazy Masquerade. That was the first channel, Lazy Masquerade, and that's just a straight up horror channel that reads some English dude that just reads horror shit to you and scares the fuck out of you when he's talking. I was by the side of the road. I pulled over by the side of the road, and there was a man there, and his car was broken down. It was in the middle of the cornfield. It was in the middle of Iowa. I pulled over. I went up to his car. He needed help. But then I looked into his rearview mirror, and I could see behind me in the cornfield there was a group of men, and they were coming upon me. So you hear that guy, and it's just scary, like the scary dramatic English voice. You know, you have to listen to him during the day, otherwise you'll get terrified. So real quick, Ara Phoenix, do you have a community group? Yes, I do, man. I have a community group too, man. I want to build that up. I want to build a community. I want to build a community of artists and people that want to do art, people that want to hang out and chill and just be cool. That's what it's all about, man. That's what I want, you know? Comic book people, artists, writers, dude, let's fucking connect. You know, that's what this is all about. Let's build our shit up together. You know, there's a lot of us, but there's not that many of us. There's a couple thousand of us. I mean, in the world. Yeah. Yeah. So, but yeah, if you want to show me, dude, yeah, you could, yeah, do you have Twitter? You got Twitter? You could DM me over on Twitter and send me your picture if you want. That'll be quick. But anyways, yeah, that was the if you got Twitter, you could post it in there. I'm gonna try to set up that thing to where we can all post our art in there. Yeah, I don't know. So you could post it there. You could post it up on Instagram. I'm BATT MURK on Instagram. I'm BATT MURK on Facebook. I'm BATT MURK on Twitter. I'm BATT MURK here. I'm just trying to do BATT MURK everything. I'm just trying to like make everything easy, you know. So you can email me battmurk at yahoo.com. You could email me there if you want to email it, you know. For sure. But yeah, back to the first YouTube channels, because I'm just thinking about YouTube, you know, right here. I'm thinking about YouTube, and when I first subscribed to it, It was it was Lazy Masquerade, Minty Comedic Arts. Then there was a show called it was ZHC. He was one of them. Jimmy Reyes. Jimmy Reyes was one of them. That dude, he's an inker. He's a badass inker. I don't think he really makes content anymore. But he was an inker for David Finch. He was one of them, and I remember he had a really cool printer. He had a Workforce, and I bought the same exact printer that he has, and I still fucking got it. You know, I scanned all my comic book stuff in on. I still got it. It was $200. Fucking badass printer. I did this right here. This is my book HELWÄR. I got the title right there. I put it in there on Clip Studio, but yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit. But it was him, and then there was crowdfunding. It was Crowdfunding Comics. That was another channel. That's Billy. This is an artist named Billy Tucci. He's a legend. But back then his channel was just Crowdfunding Comics. I think it's called Pop XP now. And then the other channel was Comic Artist Pro Secrets. And that was Ethan Van Sciver. And there wasn't that many comic book artists on YouTube at the time. And Ethan Van Sciver had some really fucking good videos at the time. Okay, man. Yeah, if you want to, yeah, you can send it to my email. It's battmurk@yahoo.com. So if you guys got any questions or anything, you can always email me there. But yeah, so he had a good channel. Like where he went to Michael's and bought some stuff, and that dude's a natural talent. I don't agree with a lot of the stuff that he does. He's done some fucked up shit, but back then it was before all that happened. But that dude is very talented. He could literally draw like a bunch of scribbles and then just fucking and then draw like a face in there, like come in there with a face and and just fucking draw a face. That's what he does. He uses a blue pencil and then just does that. I don't know how the fuck he does it. He goes in there and just kind of like does that, You get this character right here. Obviously, he knows what he's doing, like what he's drawing at the time, But yeah, man. It's fun to sketch and just things randomly out of your head, But homeboy would do that with the blue pen, dude, or blue pencil. He would fucking just draw shit, So that was some of the channels that I subscribed to. And Strip Panel Naked, I think is still around, but it's they don't make content anymore. It turned into a magazine, and then they don't really produce anything anymore. But it's a good show if you guys ever can. Check it out if you want to learn how to make comics. That guy he did some really good videos on just breaking down comics and basically showing you how to make comics. Strip Panel Naked. That was the name of it. Let's see here. I need to get another. But now there's just tons of people on YouTube now. That was like maybe 7 or 8 years ago, though, that I started doing that. It was a long time ago. I got on YouTube and I was just kind of watching shows, I didn't really know anything. Then I created a name. Because like you guys are doing now, you guys have names, but not all of you guys really produce content, right? So I had a name and I would just kind of go in chats and say things and stuff. And then eventually I said, you know what? I'm going to make a YouTube channel. Then I started up a YouTube channel, and that was like 7, maybe 6 years ago. And then now I'm here and doing live draw streams, and things are working out. Let's see here. All right, there's that. Draw that right there. We got the hand right there. Gonna make some bacon and waffles tomorrow for breakfast. Kids love that stuff. Got my Death Wish coffee. That stuff's pretty good. You got to be careful with the coffees now, man. They got a bunch of like mold in them, all kinds of stuff. Coffee is fun to drink, but man, you got to be careful with that stuff. These knuckles in there. Yep. That's my kid drew that. My son drew that. Hey, what's up, Genuine Comics? Thanks for stopping by, man. I'm trying to save all my kids' drawings, and then I'm going to put them in a big ass like omnibus and print them out. You know, so many, like hundreds of drawings for my kids. See, my dad, Louis Pollock. So if you see an email, see them, add it because that's me. Okay, no problem, man. And I'll look at your picture and tell you what I think about it. Again, I'm an old man but I'm learning too. You know, I'm 42 and I'll give you my best opinion on it. You know, what I think about it. You know, so hey, you guys, go subscribe to Genuine Comics. Dude, he's got some awesome books. Like everything you can think about. Safeguard. He's got Ravik coming out. That's the Centurion Barbarian book. That's coming out. I can't wait. 19 likes? What? You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. But yeah, go subscribe to Genuine Comics. Genuine Comics, if you have any books that you're promoting right now, please drop a link in the chat, man. So people can check it out. All right. All right, so we got this right here. So I rearranged that arm a little bit. Let's see here. I'm going to come in right here with the hand a little bit. And then this guy's hand, he doesn't have any. Said it before, and I'll say it again a couple times. You're at your peak. Oh, man. I'm trying to, man. But sometimes I don't feel that way, you know, physically. But I'm trying. Hopefully this year. They want me to go on a big hike tomorrow, but man, I can't hike right now. Let's see here. I just want to take a day off and relax, make some bacon and waffles, maybe barbecue. Maybe read a little Solomon Kane and some comics. Maybe do a comic book review. I got so many indie books I want to review. Just relax. Let's see here. Yeah, I'm definitely not feeling that hand right now. So, yeah, let me look at it in the mirror real quick. You're going to be launching Ravik this year? Dave, Genuine Comics? I don't know if you're still there, brother. Yeah. That's why I look funky, because this guy doesn't have this guy doesn't have a wrist. Okay, so I got to play with it. I like finding shapes within the hand and different muscles and kind of, so like you got it in there, right? And then I like to kind of go in there. Let's see here. Not sure, man. We still have a lot of work to do on Ravik. It's kind of my one chance to do a fantasy epic, and I don't want to rush it. No, I hear you, man. I've been working on my book HELWÄR for 3 years, you know. just now. Also, by the way, man, I got the sign up for HELWÄR, and if you guys haven't checked that out, I'm in the pre-campaign right now. So I have the sign up for that if you guys want to check it out over on Kickstarter. And if you guys want to sign up to my free Substack, I'm going to be sending early bird specials, which is going to be $5 off the comic when I launch it. It's a black and white comic. It's 106 pages long. Plus, there's going to be some back matter in there. and it's going to be the size of a record. So it's going to be kind of a funky deal. Hopefully, if I get to make it. So right here, I kind of trying to draw where like the knuckles might be a little bit. Kind of go in there, and then I like to use the eraser. And oh, thank you, sir. And then I know that a lot of people are starting to do Patreon now, and I see why. It's because you can be taken down from, or at least free Patrons. I think we should all have them. You can be taken down from Twitter, YouTube, Rumble. You need to be able to connect with people that actually like your art and your books. And you can always do that through Substack, as far as I know now, because they're a free speech platform. So I think that's pretty cool, you know. And then ultimately one day maybe I'll offer some stuff that it would require people. How do I put this? Like, I would try to make content that's actually worth people's money, and I would do it at the lowest tier. I actually tried making low tier stuff that I could actually have people pay a monthly fee for, but it was too low for the system. You know, trying to ask people for like $1.50 a month. I was like, no, that's too cheap. You got to charge more. I'm like, dude, why, bro? If I want to do that, let me do it. But anyways, on Patreon, it's a cool way to keep people up to date on what you're doing, like maybe once a month. It's a good way to blog. I call it blabbing. But I'm not going to, for you guys that sign up, I'm not going to be dropping a lot of emails. If I do one once a week or something like that, it's got to be relevant. It's got to be like an entertaining story. You know, it might be like a slice of life from my baloney that might be entertaining to you. So I might put it up in there, but I probably won't. Other than that, I'll just be dropping monthly, probably just like a monthly update. But within that, I might have a little bit of slice of life stuff in there and things like that. So I think that's interesting. I'm actually I have a bunch of Substacks that I'm like subscribed to. So mostly a lot of writers and a couple artists, but a lot of it's mostly writers, but a lot of them don't put content up, you know. The main writer I know that puts a lot of content up on Substack is Mike Barron. That dude does a lot. And I think that it's a pretty cool thing. Like, if it's because it's really like for writers in a lot of ways. That's how it was started, you know. And I think it's a good way for writers to kind of blog a little bit, you know. And if say like if I don't want to listen to it, I can always skip their email, you know. But sometimes I might be chilling on my work break and I want to read some stuff. Mike Barron, though, he throws a lot of tips in there about writing and things like that, you know. But it's a cool thing, man. It's cool thing to have. So, but anyways, I'm using it for having those email links, man. So when I drop my campaigns, you guys can get those early bird tiers, those coupons, you know, $5 off and things like that. I think that's important. All right. So I'm kind of cool with that hand right there. It's kind of, I really want it to be just really thick like that, because he doesn't have wrists. Maybe that'll do. That'll probably do right there. Okay. And thanks again for signing up, Genuine Comics. You're the man. I gotta go on your show, man. I don't know if you're still there, but talk about HELWÄR a little bit. So cool. So we move this arm around right here. This is looking decent. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So if he's jumping up like that, I kind of want him to be looking like he's coming in it like this. Let's see if I could do something with that. Check out the mirror. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I mean, that could be cool. That does look pretty, a little more aggressive if I can nail that. This shape right here, I think, looks a little more aggressive than this one. You're more than welcome. Schedule on time, sir. Sometimes the show is fully booked weeks in advance. Oh yeah, for sure, man. I'll definitely hit you up. I'm launching my book Friday the 13th on Bancroft. So I don't know. I'm gonna be doing some promotion for the pre-campaign because I think it's important that when you're doing a book that you gotta promote pre-campaign and during the campaign. So I'm trying to do both as much as I can. But I'll definitely hit you up in advance, brother. That way, it's easy for you, and I appreciate you letting me come on. And I'm gonna be streaming a lot myself. I'm gonna be doing a lot of day streaming, like a variety show, like we normally do. Topics and things like that. But I'll probably have people coming on, guests, and also co-hosts. Drawing, I might be drawing and stuff like that. But yeah, you're welcome to come on too, man. Hang out, talk about genuine comics, dude. But yeah, that show will be during the daytime. I have a new schedule for like the next 3 months, so it's gonna be kind of topsy turvy. Topsy turvy day. Let's see. So right now I'm just trying to find the muscles. This part's annoying and fun at the same time. Okay. Got the shoulder, got the bicep right here. Like that. That's connected to the bicep. Then we got the triceps coming down right here. But when you're doing this position, they're round like that. Okay. There's that, but then you're also dealing with the caveman anatomy, so that kind of throws some things out the window. Boom. Boom. Okay. Get that square block action right there. That. Get that forearm in there. I want to get that spike though right there, that spikiness to it. That sharp pointy end of the elbow right here. If I could do that, that would be cool. So we're just kind of looking for these anatomical shapes, subtracting with the eraser. So we can kind of get in there, We're looking for those pulling of the muscles. Let's see if I can do something with that. Okay, man. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not feeling that. Maybe. Let's see. See, it says it got suspended. Something got suspended, huh? That's weird. Your email got suspended? That's weird. I've never seen that before. I'll have to check that out, man. I'm sorry I can't really do that right now because I'm doing this live stream, but yeah. So we got the hand right there. Right. This has got to be like one solid block because that's how this dude, again, that's how he is. It feels like... All right, let me try this out. It's getting there. Sorry you got suspended, man. That's weird. I don't know why we get suspended. Yeah, but it's BATT MURK at yahoo.com. It's all one word. All one word. Yeah, I gotta have that corner piece. It might be like this. Let's see here. I could work with that. I could deal with that, I think. Let's try this out. Listening to this will destroy you as I get some work done. You will enjoy post-rock, Matt. Yeah, I listen to pretty much all styles of music, man. The only thing I'm really not big on is rap. But yeah, I love metal and obviously, and then I listen to rock and everything else. Classical, movie scores. Yeah. Right. All right. Let's see here. Okay. I'm just kind of cleaning it up a little bit. There we go. Let's see. It's got to be kind of... There we go. And this has got to be a little, maybe I can put this finger up like that. That index finger always kind of goes up like that a little bit more than the other fingers. It sits up kind of funny. I gotta drop these down here a little bit more. But that one always pops a little more. There we go. All right. There we go. I can't believe that. 19 likes, man. You guys are awesome. All right. So now we have a now we got that forearm, you know. I know I'm slow as all get out, but we got that forearm. Let's see. I kind of want it to be a little spiky on that elbow. I don't know why. I just wanted to be a little pointy. Then we got this right here. So you gotta, for me, like I love having that eraser because I draw with the eraser too. Yeah. You're adding highlights a lot of the time, but you're also drawing with it, you know. and I never used it like at all. I didn't even know people were using them. I feel so stupid. Could have been like drawing a lot better years ago. There we go. Right. So now we could draw the incision right here. Like that. Like it's going right into the stomach area. And then right here it's coming out of the back. A little bubble on the skin like that. All right. There we go. That's what I was looking for. Little something like that. So you can get rid of that right there. Then you can have like a little puncture area where it's going into this, and it was kind of rib area to squeeze like that. All right. I need to make it a bit rusty, so it might take long. Well, that's cool. Sometimes you got to do that, you know. Take your time. Take however long the piece needs. If it needs 2 hours or fucking 2 years. Maybe not 2 years, but you know what I mean. Sometimes things take a while, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know, something like that. Excuse me. All right, we got that. Boom, boom. Make that one a little bigger. Pretty soon, I'm gonna have to start inking this. Pretty soon. Oh, it's coming up on 3 hours. Yeah, I'm gonna get my draw down. Might have to have one more draw stream too, just because I got to do the background and stuff, and shade in some parts because it's underwater. Oh yeah, I can only imagine that. There was a cat in the scene that was doing a book that was an underwater book. I think it was called Octagon. It looked really cool. I wanted to pick it up, but I didn't. That's a whole another ball game, you know. Drawing things underwater, it really is. It really is. Like there's you think of like Aquaman and Namor. It's funny, man. I seen on Twitter that they have a new hold on guys, I'll be right back. All right. Let's see here. So yeah, I seen on Twitter that like looks like they're changing the design of what's his name? Namor. You know? Namor in the movie. I don't know. I never watched the Wakanda Forever. I thought it was kind of stupid that they killed off the Black Panther, you know? They should have recasted him with a new actor. But instead they made his sister the Black Panther. I thought that was the stupidest shit ever. Yeah, so I didn't watch it. Black Panther, I think I did. I think I just straight bought. Did I watch it in the theater? I don't know if I watched Black Panther in the theater or if I just straight bought it. I think I watched it in the theater first. That movie was sick. I had my problems with that movie as well. But they put Namor in the in the MCU, and they did like a hard like Aztec Mayan like redesign of him, which I thought would have been cool for a new character. But Namor, he's Greco-Roman. For those of you that don't know, if you spell Namor backwards, it's Roman. That's his name. So that was kind of like a good opportunity for them to kind of really dive into that Roman, kind of Greco-Roman OG stuff from the comics, and yeah, he looks a certain way. Like for me, like in his prime, Hugo Weaving looks exactly like Namor. Hugo Weaving was the guy that played Elrond from Lord of the Rings. He's in a couple movies, but he looks like He looks like Namor, you know. So Namor's he's definitely an Atlantean. His name is Roman, so you know it's Greco-Roman. So it's not at all Aztecian or Mexican or Mayan. Fuck no, it's not that. It's definitely not that. Now, what the character they made for that movie, that would have been a sick ass fucking villain for Namor to fight. They could have just left him that way. I never watched the movie just because I thought it was the stupidest shit ever. I thought it was a bastardization of what Namor should be. He's, I think, the first Marvel Comics character. So I thought it would have been a really good way for them to have a dichotomy for the stoner metalhead version of Aquaman from what Snyder created with Jason Momoa to what they could have done with Marvel. I think they could have made him more of a badass in that regard, like fucking scary and mean, and you know that Namor's a little more brutal than Aquaman in that regard. But I don't know. Jump to this week though. I see this picture on Twitter where it's got Namor and he's minus the nose ring and all the Aztec shit, and he looks like kind of low key, little more Namor-ish from the comic, and you know, and I'm like, looks like they like Namor washed Namor. Then I said, looked like the Russo brothers, you know, read a fucking Namor comic, you know. So yeah, I don't like what they're doing. I don't like it when they race swap. I don't like it when they gender swap characters. I think that's stupid. I don't like it when they do it in the comics. I don't like it when they do it in the movies. It's dumb. I think they just need to make new characters at that juncture. So I've always been against that. But I am looking forward to Doomsday a little bit. You know, if they do some cool stuff, I'll still watch it. You know, I'm sure it'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it. As far as Black Panther, my gripes with that movie was I don't like that he was already OP from the get. As soon as you watch the movie, he's already fully like OP. I knew he had to fight other tribes and stuff like that, and you had like Eric Killmonger or whatever his name was. I thought that was, I don't know, kind of weird, kind of dumb. There needed to be more of an origin in the story I read from before the movie. You know, it shows him he has to go on a quest. He has to like go through all these trials and tribulations before he can even eat said herb. You know, he has to fight, like, I think he had to fight a panther and a bunch of other shit. He had to climb mountains and go through different terrains and do all this brutal shit. You know, and in the movie, he's already got the herb. It's already growing in his basement like hydroponics. It's you know, I wanted him to earn that I want him to earn it a little more, you know. I didn't like that. Also, I did not like the actor that they got that played Black Panther. You know, God bless his soul. He passed away. You know, he's a good actor and he did a good job. But they always get these little skinny guys to play these characters. Sometimes that's like the first thing. Like you look at Michael Keaton, great actor. He sold it for a little guy, but he's, you know, horribly miscast. You know, like Batman should have been Ben Affleck, you know, or something like Pierce Brosnan at the time. Even he would have been better. And that's one of the guys, you know. I mean, obviously he's better than Bill Murray. That was another cat, but yeah, Chadwick Boseman, no. You want someone bigger like Michael Jai White. He would have been a good Black Panther, or Wesley Snipes in his prime. That's who you get for Black Panther. Those guys, maybe like Denzel. Denzel Washington would be good, but again, all those guys, they need to work out, bro. They need to work out. They need to be like superhero physique, big, you know. Even the guy that played the I think the White Gorilla in Black Panther, even he would have been a better T'Challa. But Chadwick Boseman, no, he was too small. He was too scrawny, dude. He was way too scrawny. And I didn't like the tech either in the suit. I thought that was way too like high techy. I think Black Panther looks way more badass when his suit isn't all teched out looking with all the ornamentation, when it's just solid black, you know, like solid black, bro. Like, oh, he looks cool, you know. So I have those are like some of the little concerns, but the movie was fucking epic. The fight scenes were dope. I thought Killmonger was a stupid villain. He was too much like Black Panther. I thought there was too much of the whole like usurping and fighting over the crown. I thought that was stupid. That should have been more of like a third movie storyline. I didn't like that. I think Ulysses Claw should have been the main villain, probably. I don't know. Those are my little concerns with little things about the movie, but still a dope movie. But I just remember the first time I seen Black Panther, I just thought he was one of the coolest looking Marvel characters ever. I didn't know where he was from. I didn't know he was African. I didn't know he was a black guy. I didn't know what. I didn't know nothing about him. And later on, you learn, oh, he's from Africa. He's a king. He's fucking, vibranium. Like, oh, that's dope. That's even more badass. He's like kind of like Tarzan and shit, So, and then I seen like Alex Ross did some paintings of him for Marvels. I have the book from that, and he just looks so cool. I don't know. He looks cool in the movie, but he just kind of scrawny. And then you get his sister playing Black Panther. I mean, at least change the name, dude. I don't know. Call her Jaguar or something, or I don't know. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. They just need to recast him like they did for Edward Norton, and also what they did with War Machine. I'm a real big fan of recasting people. I think, dude, I don't know. Yeah, they got to recast him. I don't like I wouldn't want some other dude like living in Wakanda coming out like, I challenge you, like I'm the Black Panther now. Like, that's just just get a new actor to play him. That's what they should have done. But we'll see though. We'll see. And then don't even get me started on Doctor Doom. I've talked about that before too. That was one of the stupidest. That was the stupidest thing they could have done, was make Robert Downey Jr. play Doctor Doom. Now, I don't care if he delivers an Oscar-worthy performance. That was their opportunity to hire another actor. And then at this juncture, it's been a few years. Bring them all back. Bring back Iron Man. Bring back Thor. I would have never. That was the stupidest shit they could have done, was kill off Iron Man. Why the fuck would you do that? Don't kill any of them off. I know it's got to like weigh and mean something because they've had all these 20 years, But no, don't do that. No. Why would you do that? Then they bring in all these stupid ass A-list character or Z-list characters that no one gives a shit about, and they make TV shows about them, and they're just dumb. I don't know. It's just because I think those guys were just tired, so they were just like, I'm ready for my contract to end. And then their contract ends, and where are they now? What are they doing now? What's Chris Hemsworth doing now? What's Chris Evans doing now? Red One? No one gives a fuck. They should have never done that. That's why they're all coming back now. I think I watched when he was alive for Black Panther. Yeah, no, he did a good job. He's a good actor. But for a while too, at that time, they were hiring that guy for everything. All the big like roles, all these big characters, Jackie Robinson. Like, he was just in every fucking movie, every like big black role. He got every role. It's like, come on, bro. They do that with a lot of actors. They always hire like the same people. And I just recently found out that like in Hollywood, they only hire like 20% of the actors, and they just give the 20% the same movies. It's stupid. Yeah. Yeah, they squandered that. They squandered Blade. That's another good character. I think that Blade 1 and 2 are the best Marvel movies ever made, hands down. Stephen Norrington and Guillermo del Toro. They fucking were ahead of the game. They fucked over Stephen Norrington, man. That guy, he was a diamond in the rough. I don't know what, like, Hollywood just fucked him over. His movies are great. Was it League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, Blade 1? Fuck, so good. Yeah, they don't take care of their people, man. They need to take care of these directors. Seems like the only one they really kind of low key took care of was Christopher Nolan and kind of Guillermo a little bit. Like, he's getting Frankenstein. At least Netflix took care of him, let him do whatever he wanted, But yeesh, horrible. A lot of people talk Favreau. Favreau, he made Iron Man. That was good. That kickstarted it, but I'd have to argue that Stephen Norrington, man, what he did with Blade was groundbreaking. If it wasn't for Blade, there wouldn't be nothing. There would be nothing without Blade. Nothing. Yeah. and it's weird. Like they could totally just make like a Blade movie with Wesley Snipes. They could have made like right after Deadpool came out, like there could have been another Blade movie by now. Still, they're messing around. They never made one. They could have put Michael. They could have put maybe not Morbius, but well, you know what? They could have put Morbius into it and made it better. Yeah, they could have got Jared Leto's dumbass and made a Morbius movie or made a Blade movie with him as Morbius. I would have brought him back. I would have put him in full makeup. Like, sorry, buddy, you're not getting the CGI face makeup. You're getting actual makeup that you got to wear. Yeah, I could go off on the Marvel movies and the comics like no other. You know, it's pretty bad. Thor Love and Thunder. Oh my God, that was horrible movie. I don't like it when they make Thor a job title and they give it to the lady. Like no, that was stupid. You know. And why is it that the first 15 minutes of every Thor movie is the best part? You know, you like in the beginning of Thor, you get the Jotunheim battle with the frost giants. And Thor 2, you get him going through the realms, you know, fighting different you know characters from out the 9 realms. That was pretty badass. And in the third movie, you have him in Muspelheim. He's fighting Surtur. That scene's sick, you know. He fights that big like dragon down there, and just kind of fizzles out. Christian Bale did a good job though in Love and Blunder or whatever it's called. But he was it's just Taika Waititi really screwed it up. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, they literally threw away billions of dollars too because when those movies were coming out at the time, like when Iron Man was coming out, they had a girl in the comics as Iron Man. When Thor was coming out, it was a girl. It was all woke as fuck. They should have had comics in the movie theaters, not woke, not race swapped, not gender swapped in the comics. They should have had those OG characters the way they were in the movie theaters. You know, they should have been giving comics out, and then that would have brought in the new audience. They literally pissed away a whole generation of readers. And so they said, you know what? They didn't even look. They just like, no, I'm busy reading manga. Fuck off. But they would have came over and they would have definitely been picking up on stuff. You know, I would have been giving out old school Iron Man and Thor and all that, you know. Picked up some Walter Simonson, Thor, put that in there with their popcorn. I hate that they are doing stunt jump that get people hurt when they're when doing it. I hate that they do stunt jump that get people hurt when they do it. Yeah. Well, I don't know if you're talking about stuntmen, but you got to have stuntmen, and women, and the actors need to lean on the stunt men and women to help them. That way they don't get hurt, you know. Because if the main actor gets hurt, then they can't film the movie, and it costs more money, and it slows down production. So actors should do some stunts, but not all the stunts. You know, it needs to be like a balance. You know, because it looks good when they do their own stunts, but they don't got to do all of them if they want to. You know, if I was a director, I wouldn't have them doing their own stunts unless they're like a really highly trained martial artist. You know. And still, I would be like, you know what, bro? Like, yeah, you're a martial artist. You could do some of it, but let's use the stuntman a little bit too. You know, you got to prove nothing. Let's keep this movie on. Let's keep this movie safe. You know. Whoa, 20 likes. That's awesome. Let's see here. Yeah, it's hard drawing this guy's knees, man. All right, so I think we're cooking something right here. I'm gonna think about what I could draw in the background. I definitely know I want it to be like a dreamscape, you know, very ethereal. like again, like we've seen in the show, and like how Conan is. And then I, want to add some more stuff in. I was really thinking about putting like a big T-Rex skull just right here, just like right across the bottom, dude. Just boom, I think that would look fun. Want to get like it's a couple, maybe like one or two jungle trees in there. Maybe a volcano in the background, and then just like a ton of like fog, because it has to be like dream-esque. So yeah, but this piece has been fun, man. I'm glad I got the little bit of reference. Don't be afraid to use reference. Just don't trace it. Try not to trace it. With this channel, I'm a real big promoter of original art. Not saying that I wouldn't do a digital comic. I've thought about it, but I think artists need to do traditional stuff. That way they can sell their art. You can't sell stuff if it's all digital, unless you're doing a digital book and maybe you got a front cover, a back cover, and then a splash page or two inside. That's like 4 pieces you could sell, But artists, man, you guys got to sell your works, But anyways, I got the probably going to get going right now. Aria Phoenix, I'm going to check the emails, see if I can find your work. Sorry if it didn't go through, man. Yeah. Check that out. I'm looking forward to it, man. Probably give you some critiques if you want. If you don't want, that's fine too. Sometimes I like critiques from people personally. Sometimes just depends on where it's coming from. Sometimes I don't. I could just give you my perspective, like what I see from it. Again, it's battmurk@yahoo.com. It's battmurk is one should be one word, man. And all caps. So there's that, and check that out. Thanks everybody that stopped by. You guys are awesome. People that are still watching now, thank you. If you can, go check out my Substack, sign up, and I'm going to send you guys links, an early bird link to HELWÄR. Go check out HELWÄR, the pre-campaign over on Kickstarter. I have the pre-campaign right there. All these links are in the description if you want to check it out. Thank you. If not, thank you for coming by. Thank you. I hope you guys have an awesome Sunday. Always remember to be bold, be brave, roll the bones to know your role, and most importantly, remember, if the artist isn't hungry, then the artist isn't starving. Or sorry, if the artist isn't starving, the artist isn't hungry. So you guys got to keep pushing. Once you get everything and everything unlocked, you have all the stuff that you need in the world. You're making it big. You start doing art, you're not going to be as hungry. So a lot of the people that are out there living, working hard, grinding, they're hungry. That's what I mean by that. So one day when you do make it big, hopefully we all make it big time to whatever that may be. We stay hungry with our art, and we stay expressive with it. It's important. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time, and stay metal.